Hey folks, I just wanted to jump on here live because I couldn't be bothered putting a video together specifically just to talk about... That's annoying. Shouldn't put my tripod on my desk. Specifically just to talk about where I'm up to, what I've been doing, why I've not been posting videos. I have actually been making videos. I've been making lots of videos, mainly for other people. That's my day job. That's what I do. Hence why I have another 12 terabytes of storage ready to use. I know those Seagate backup drives aren't the best, but they are the cheapest at the moment, and really I want to spend the money and get a decent NAS system, but not this week. So still just going to be using those drives and having a convoluted backup system, but safe to say I am creating a lot of data at the moment. The thing is, because I've been doing all this work, I've not had a chance to make YouTube videos, which is sad because I really love making YouTube videos. They don't earn me any money, so the only reason that I do them is for the fun of it. And you know, I like that it prompts chats between me and, you know, people out in the internet world. I have filmed a fair few videos for this channel, but the problem with being busy like that is, and the kind of nature of the videos that I make, if I shoot them and I don't edit them within, you know, that week or that month, they just kind of become a burden, and they become something that I resent, and I actually don't respect the work that I put in, so I end up not wanting to create something with the footage that I've shot. So that's a thing that's been really difficult for me. Let me know if you guys experience that same sort of thing. If you kind of make stuff and then don't shoot it. Make stuff and then don't shoot it. Make stuff and then don't edit it and don't put it out there. I was actually speaking to someone on Instagram the other day, and she was saying she'd like filmed her first vlog episode and just couldn't like bring herself to actually put it together yet. And I thought that was interesting because that's kind of the process that I go through a lot. Not because I don't like looking at myself while I'm editing or anything like that, but just because sometimes I don't think some of the stuff that I make is particularly good, and I don't know. That's something for me to deal with, though, isn't it? The thing that I wanted to talk about, and it's funny because I feel like I've said this so many times already, but I've said it on camera and I've not edited and put those videos out. The thing that I wanted to talk about was the new things that I'm starting next year, or at least I've already started, and I'm trying to actually turn into something next year. So the main one is my sort of interview show, and it's effectively a podcast, but I don't know how to put a podcast together, and my medium is video. So it's a video series where I sit down with interesting people and we talk about basically about the ability to keep going, and that works in many ways. The title of the series is Unsustainable, and it's basically about the unsustainable practices that we engage in, be that lack of self-care, or not organising our business properly, not organising our personal life properly, or even bigger subjects like helping the wider world, and, you know, dealing with sustainability and dealing with anything from actual sort of recycling or to how we treat other people in a general way. And it kind of all comes under this thing of sustainability, and sustainability gets this kind of like, it's associated with recycling and shit like that. But if you think about it, being sustainable in your everyday life is like, you know, are you eating right? Are you working right? Can you sustain that thing that you're doing? And I kind of like this idea that we could talk about how a lot of the practices we engage in, especially early on in starting out a business, how they're unsustainable and we can't keep them going. And so that is where that comes in. That's going to start in January. I've got the first one I already shot. I shot it last month. Amazing creative. She runs a business called Creative Wilderness, and she's called Charlotte. And we talk about running a sustainable business, running an ethical business, amongst other things. I'm also going to do some solo episodes. I've got some other people in the pipeline who have kind of tentatively agreed to be part of it, to sit down with me for up to an hour and chat. I'm really excited to do that because it doesn't rely on information from me, which sometimes I feel so burnt out and just like unuseful that I don't want to pass. I don't want to pass information on that I don't necessarily believe in or have a firm conviction in. So talking to these people who are smarter than me and probably more eloquent than me is something that I'm really excited about. And do you know what? I love listening to these interviews, especially with people who are in that early stage of setting something up, because I think there's a lot of insight from in the people in the trenches. It's very easy to look at these people who are doing incredibly well. They've built a business. They're sort of captains of industry. Like someone like Gary Vee is a good example, who has now switched his narrative from it's got to be hustle hard, you've got to stay awake every single hour of every day, to something that is like, oh well, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. And he's able to say that sort of stuff because he's now in a position where he can take more time off and stuff like that. And I'm not preaching a hustle hard all the time. What I'm saying is, once these people have made a success out of themselves, they don't necessarily follow the same advice or give the same advice that they would have when they were actually in the thick of it. So I think that's why I want to talk to the people who are new to stuff like this and like I say, quite unestablished, and they're still really battling through it, because I think there's some good, interesting stuff to come from that. So super excited about that. Unsustainable. Obviously there'll be more advertising around it come January, but I just kind of wanted to mention it on here. I wanted to get a little bit of feedback on the name as well, because I kind of like it, but I think it might turn some people off it, because if you see it, you might just think, oh, what's that all about? I don't know. Maybe it's contentious. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I'm sure there's something else. Probably is something else. No. I really want to keep doing the book reviews. Had a couple of weeks where I've not really been here that often, and it's kind of hard to set up a live stream on the go. I mean, it's not. You can just use a phone, I guess, but I like it to look a certain way. Usually better than this. There's a myriad of different things that are going to be happening next year, or at least I intend to happen. Hopefully you will subscribe and stick around for those things. I think in particular this series of interviews that I'm doing is going to be really worthwhile to watch. And if you subscribe and get the notification thing set up, I don't think you'll regret it. And I can say that because it's not me, it's other people's knowledge, and it's not immodest to say that. And thank you for watching this, whether you're watching live now if you are, hey, or you're watching this later on, I'll see you in another video. Take care.